One way to classify WordPress websites is by how the user can consume the content on the WordPress website. On the one hand, you have websites where users can come in, consume the content, and go away. And on the other hand, you have websites where users need to register to consume any kind of content on the site. Maybe it's a forum, maybe a membership-based website, maybe a course website where users can consume online courses. And there might be other cases as well where users need to register, or the site administrators might encourage users to register on your site. Now, if your website is in the second category, then you have come to the right video, because in this lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to enable user registrations on your website. And I'm talking about multiple ways, different ways on how you can enable. And each of these methods will give you a different degree of control on how and what information you can capture from your users. So I would highly encourage you to watch the video till the end, because you might never know that there's some functionality that you can have in WordPress, which might be really useful for your site if you skip the video. All right, let's get started. All right, so let's start with step number one, the absolute basics. And in this step, we're going to enable the functionality where users can actually come and register on your website. Usually, this is not a default setting in WordPress, or the setting is actually disabled by default, but your host might have configured your WordPress differently. But in most cases, this functionality is actually disabled. So you need to enable it to utilize any of these powers, or utilize any of the functionality that I was talking about to have users register on your site. To do that, go to settings first. And inside settings, you'll see general settings in WordPress. Go to general settings. And right here, you see a bunch of options. But the one we're considering is this one, which is called membership. And you see this toggle box or this checkbox right here. Anyone can register. So this is unchecked right now. That means users cannot register on your website, or at least anyone, just a visitor coming to your site, cannot register. If you want to enable this functionality, just click on this, and then the functionality will be enabled once you save a settings. But the second thing you should be concerned about is new user default role. And if you see right here, you have subscriber, contributor, author, editor, and administrator. Now, of course, you can probably understand just from the names what these access roles or roles are. Subscribers can consume content, contributors can contribute content, authors can also contribute content, then you have editors and administrators. Now, obviously, you would not want to give anybody administrator access to your website, anybody who's registering. You might have an open website where you might prefer users actually contributing to your site, adding the content. But yes, administrator is something that you should completely stay away from, because this gives the visitors coming to your site all the rights that you have. So they can kick you out, they can delete all the content, do all sorts of nasty stuff. So for the safest option, the new user default role should be subscriber. So users can come to your site, they can log in and subscribe or register, and they can consume the content on your website. And this is the safest option. And once you've made these changes, just go to the bottom of the page, just click save, and these changes will be saved on your site. And now users can start registering on your website. So now you've given your visitors the ability to register on your website. Pretty easy stuff. But where do they actually find this option, or where do they just click a link or register on your site? That's still a mystery to be solved, because let's say if you go on a page like this, let's say this is the home page of your website, and if you scroll on the page, there is no registration link to be found, right? You can keep scrolling, but you won't find a link. So if you can't find a link, how do you expect your visitors to find these links? Of course, they'll find it difficult as well. And if your business model completely depends on more and more users signing up to your website, then you might want to encourage them to actually log in and register to your site. Now, here's the fun part. The registration option is actually present on the screen right now, but it's not obvious for users, and it's not obvious for you as well. And the registration link is actually right here. Now you might say, hey, Yuvraj, this is not the registration link. This is the login link. Of course, I understand. And if you were to open the login page of your website, usually this is what you would see. This is an incognito window, because I was already logged into my account on my main website. And this is what I've opened before I actually enabled the option to register, which I just demonstrated. Now, what will happen if I refresh this page, pay close attention to the page, refresh, and you see right here, the registration option opens up. And if you click this, you will see the registration option opens up right here. So technically, the register option does appear, but it's disguised as the login option on your website. Now, it's not very obvious that the login page will also contain the registration options, but yes, the option does exist, and it is very openly available if your users know how and where to look for it. So how do we ensure that the registration options are easy to find for users, right? How do we place them in a location where it is hard for your users to miss that, okay, the registration option is right here? Well, there is a way to do that using widgets on your site. Let me give you a demonstration on how that works. Let's go back to WordPress, and what we'll do is go to Appearance, and we'll go to Widgets. And once the widget page opens, let it load for a second. This is the new interface. It can also work with the old interface, but the new interface works as well. And once you've loaded, you'll see, depending on how your website is configured, you might have different widgets right here. Let's scroll down and add a new widget. And the interface for adding widget is very similar to the block editor. You add a block, but right now I'm going to add the meta widget right here, which is kind of a legacy widget, but it still works in WordPress. So type in meta, and this is what you will find. And the meta widget will be added right here. Now, technically, it's already added here, and you see all these options right here. So it's already added. So what I'll do is remove the duplicate right here, and I'll talk about it right here. So what the meta widget does is, if I click on this, you'll see a description, login, RSS, and WordPress.org links. If I click outside, you'll see it gives you links to the site admin, logging out, entries, comments, and some other options right here. Now, since it's already added on my website, let me go to the blog page on our site, because the homepage doesn't have any of the sidebar options. And of course, widgets can only be added to the widget enabled areas, and sidebar is one of those areas. So this is the sidebar area, and you can see the meta options right here. So site admin, logout, entry suite, and all of our other options. Now, of course, I'm already logged into my website. What I can do is, let me open this page up in the incognito tab or incognito window. Let's see what happens. And as you can see, as soon as I open the page, instead of the links showing up right here, which is site admin, logout, and entries feed, I see the registration option right here, because this is an incognito window. I'm not logged in. So this is one easy way for the registration options to be placed anywhere on the site, at least in the widget enabled areas on your website. So this is how you do it. But you might be still wondering, hey, Yuvraj, most of my users are coming in from a mobile phone view where the sidebar is not visible, and I just want to make the registration option like a call to action, and I want to promote it heavily. Sidebar is something that people don't look at. I hear you, and I'll give you another option where you can utilize a sneaky way to add registration links on your website anywhere you like. You want to see how it does or how it works? Go back to the registration form right here. And what I'll do is I'll show the URL of this page right here on the screen. And what you can see is it's openregistration.com, which is a demo website, /WP login, which is the login URL, and the question mark right here, which signifies that the whatever is following is a URL parameter. Action is register. So what this page is just the login page with a URL parameter. So what you can actually do is just copy and place this link anywhere on your site. For example, what I do is I go to the URL section, I copy this, and if I place this in any of the blog posts or any blog post like a button or anything, the registration option can open up. So what I'll do is pause the video for a second. I'll create a new blog post or open up a blog post. I'll place this as a button, and we'll try and see if this actually works, right? Give me a second. I'll be back. All right, so I've created a blog post on my website, and I've titled it registration links just to keep it obvious. And I've created or added a button block right here. And if I click the button block, you'll see it points to the exact URL I was talking about, openregistration.com /wplogin.php ? Action equals register. Now, I've already opened this post in an incognito window right here. Let's go to that. And this is the post, right? And just to clarify, this is just a regular block. So you can have anything on the page, anything on the post, a regular post. You can design it however you like, and just add this as a regular link, or maybe a call to action button, or an image link, or even a button link, which I have placed right now. What I'm trying to tell you is, anyway, just anywhere you can add a hyperlink, you can add the registration link right here. And what happens if I click this and open in a new tab? Let's see, the registration options opens up right here. So let me quickly recap whatever we've learned right now. I told you how to enable user registrations on your site. Then I also told you how the login page also acts as a registration page, which might not be obvious for users. Then I also told you about the meta widget, using which you can now actually place the registration links anywhere on the site, at least in the widget enabled areas. Then I also told you a small hack using which you can create any kind of call to action for users to register on your website if you want to really promote that. Now, this covers most of the basics where users can come in, enter a username, password, or an email address, and then start consuming the content, or at least register and start doing whatever you intend them to do. Now, what if you want to collect additional information from the user? Let's say payment information, let's say address, let's say any other details about what their skills level are with a certain set of skills if you're trying to educate them on something. What do you do if you want to collect all that information on the registration page itself? Well, it is possible, but not with these methods. For that, we'll use a third-party plugin. So let me demonstrate that right now. All right, we're back, and let's talk about adding custom functionality to your user registration pages. And as I mentioned, we'll be using a third-party plugin to do that. And the plugin we'll be using is called WP Forms. Now, WP Forms is a fantastic drag and drop WordPress form builder. You can create any kind of contact forms, all the forms in the world that you can imagine and think of with this plugin. And one of the cool features is that it also features some advanced add-ons. And one of those add-ons is a user registration add-on. So once you enable that add-on, you'll be able to create user registration forms, and using the power of drag and drop, you can add additional functionality or additional fields which users have to fill in to start using this on your site. I'll be linking some of the videos right here where you can check out more about WP Forms. But right now, I'm going to give you an introduction. You can go to the pricing option. The user registration add-on is not available in the free version. So I believe the pro version and above. So go to the pricing options, make your purchase. And once you've completed the purchase, you will find the download files for the plugin and also a license key inside your account. I already have that, so I'll skip over that part. Now, instantly first install WP Forms on my website, activate the license, and then I'll be teaching you how to create a registration form on your website. Let's go. So first, inside the admin block, I'll go to plugins. I'll go to add new, and I'll upload the plugin. I'll add the zip file here, install the plugin. Let's activate the plugin as well. So now, as you can see, WP Forms has been installed on my website. And since I was testing it out already on this website, my license key is already added. But when you start out, you'll need to activate the plugin to use all its features. So for that, you'll need to go to WP Forms, go into settings right here. And in the first option right here, you'll add your license key and verify your key. And once it's verified, you'll automatically get updates as well. And then you'll be able to utilize all the functionality right here. Now, to utilize the power of WP Forms to have or replace the registration links, you'll need to install or add a couple of add-ons to WP Forms. Now, add-ons are just plugins for WP Forms. As WordPress has plugins, WP Form also has a plugin, or I say a set of add-ons, and it keeps the plugin light. So what you'll do is go to the add-on section right here. And as you can see, I have a bunch of add-ons to connect with, like so Aweber, ActiveCampaign, all email marketing tools so that you can send data once you've collected email addresses and all that. This is all easy. Scroll to the bottom of the page where you'll find the user registration add-on. This is what you'll need to install on your site so that you can actually replace your user registration forms inside WordPress or WordPress's user registrations with WP Forms. So click the install add-on button, and it'll just take a few minutes or maybe a few seconds to install or download the add-on and activate it on your site. So let's wait for it to complete, and add-on is installed and activated. And now you can deactivate and enable it, or activate and deactivate it whenever you like. This is the power or beauty of WP Forms. Anything you add or any kind of functionality can be activated and deactivated, especially with the add-ons. So now let's go to the form section right here. Let's add a new form, and I'll teach you how to add or create a new form where you can add user functionalities or user registration functionality on the site. And once you click the add new button, you'll trigger the form creation workflow right here. So what you can do is first type of name of your form. So I'll type in register. And you have a bunch of predefined form templates that you can use. You have a contact form, all the different forms you can utilize on your site, and you can customize them to make them work with the registration flow of your website. But the easiest way to do this is either start from blank, which you can also do technically. But the easiest way to do this is by you searching for a user registration form, which is predefined. So if I search for this, you'll see user register. I didn't even type the whole thing. And you see the user registration form come up, and you can see it's from the add-on that we just added right here. So I'll click the use template, which will open up a predefined or pre-created user registration form right here. And this is an important notice to pay attention to. Additional user registration options are available in the settings panel. Of course, I'm going to demonstrate them as well. So right now, this is a basic registration form created with WP Forms. So you have the name option right here, first name, last name, username, email, password, and short bio. These are the basic options that you would anyways require. But what about the additional options I was talking about, giving users the opportunity to collect, or users, not you, to collect payment information or any kind of other things? Well, that's the beauty of WP Forms, because you see all these fields right here. All of these fields can be added to your user registration options right here. So text fields, paragraph, these are what you can add on the screen. So let's say you want users to have like a checkbox. Hey, I agree to the terms and conditions or whatever. Or what are my skills level? Do I know this, or know this? You can have this option right here. Or let's say you want to add a slider. What is my current skill level with a particular skill set? Add a slider right here so that users can actually drag this information right here. And you also can add address fields, phone number fields, date, times. For example, let's say you want to collect user address, just drag and drop right here. You also want to connect their phone numbers. All right, add that information right here. And now you can start collecting phone numbers and addresses. And of course, you can make them or make these fields mandate to be filled in, right? So you can see this red asterisk right here next to the password. Of course, users cannot have an account without a password, but you can make sure that users have to fill in an address to actually sign up to your site. Right now, I'm going to delete them just to keep it simple, even the phone number, just to keep it simple. But as you can see, you have a bunch of options right here: phone number, address, date field, website URL, file uploads. You can ask users or give the options, users the option to actually add or upload a file, password, section divider, hidden fields, entry preview, HTML files. And you also have the payment options right here. And you have PayPal Commerce, Stripe Commerce, Square, and Authorize.net currently supported. Once you add those, you'll of course need to configure some of the payment information that you can start collecting that information, start collecting payments. But the opportunity is right here. And what I'm trying to tell you is the options with this, or the possibilities with all these fields, is completely up to you. Whatever use case you have for creating this kind of a registration flow where you're connecting with the user and asking them to fill out any kind of information on your website, that possibility can be fulfilled right here completely. And once you've done that, you'll need to go into settings and verify a couple of things before you start publishing this page and have this registration done. So go to the settings right here, and you have a bunch of settings. You have notifications, confirmations. You can go and check them out. You have some interesting settings right here, but the most important one is in the user registration option. So what this does is it maps existing fields from the form, which is right here, to actually database inside WordPress where the user registration information is actually saved. So what it's saying is, hey, field mapping. So username for the user comes from the username field right here on the form itself, which is this one. So this will be saved as a username for users. The name is the name, the password is the password, the website is, you can map it to certain things or you can leave it blank, and the bio is the bio. Now, if you have more fields, you don't need to map them, because inside WordPress, all this information is not saved. The rest of the information that you capture will be saved by WP Forms. But these are the basic fields that you want to capture. So let's say you customize this and you move things around, you change fields, delete fields, then all you have to do is come right here and make sure that the username, name, password, and just the biographical information, this is not mandatory, but these fields are mapped to the right field so that WP Forms can capture that information and provide or like add it to the database right here. You also have some other options right here, which I think are important to cover. Enable user activation. This is kind of a double opt-in method. So let's say you don't want to have users just adding any kind of spam email. You want them to verify their email. Then you can enable this option, which will send them a test activation email. And once they click the link inside the email, only then will their account be activated. This is a user, or I think a pretty good feature. And you also can do this, the second option, enable auto login. So once the users register, they can automatically log in. Of course, this doesn't work the first option. So as soon as you enable the first option, the second option is actually disabled. Then you can also hide users form if it's logged in. So if users are already logged in, instead of the form, they see this HTML tag right here. This is something that you can utilize. But the first option is I think, pretty important if you want to, let's say, prevent spam users or spam registrations happening with bots, or even just spam users creating accounts on your site. And what you can also do, here's a captcha option as well. If you want to prevent spammers from like trying to create accounts and just bombarding your website with random requests, you can enter the captcha option right here as well. And once you've created this page right now, everything is done, you save this page. And now what we'll do is we'll create a page on our website completely, and we'll go and add this form right there. And once we have the page, then we can utilize the same methodology, like copying the link of the page and providing it everywhere when you want users to actually register on your site. All right, so let me create a page first, and then I'll show you how to add this particular form on that page very quickly. All right, so I've created a brand new page on the site, and I just titled it register on the site, completely blank page. And here's how you add that registration form right here. What you do is you use the WP Forms block. So type in the / and type in WP Forms, and you'll see this WP Forms block appear right here. And once this is added to the page, the WP Forms block will give you the option to select what form you want to embed. So click right here, and you'll see all the forms that you have created. Right now, we just created the registration form. So click the register option, and it'll load the form right here. And this is the exact form that we looked at. And once you do, just publish the page. And once this is published, you can copy this page, right? This page particular, the URL of this page, and utilize it everywhere on your site, right? Example, the same way I told you about the button option, you can use this and create call to action buttons, add it any hyperlinks, and users, when they fill this form up, they'll be registered on your website. And as I mentioned, you can actually do this or you can add any kind of information or capture any kind of information right here as well, just not limited to the name and username and email and password. And all that information will be captured by WP Forms. So you can see all that information in WP Forms directly. Now, as you can tell, this is a powerful feature inside WP Forms to create registration forms on your website, and they match the theme and style of your website as well. But this also brings up a challenge, because now you've created a beautiful looking page inside WP Forms, which doubles up or backs up your registration page, but your login page still looks like this, right? It doesn't match correctly. So how can you change this page, or how can you create a login page that looks completely, or I say very similar to this page? Well, there's also an option inside WP Forms, and for that what you can do is go right here back to add new option, and let me quickly demonstrate how you would do that. I'll just type in or create the login, and I'll go here and type login. And similar to the registration page, you can also create a login form for your website directly inside WP Forms. And the best part is the styling will match completely. So right now on the login page, of course, you don't need to have any more information, but that's up to you, whatever you want to do. Username and password is the most important things that you'll need to add. So once you've done this, save the page, create a new page called login, and then just have that page. And once it's done, it will look very similar to this page right here on this. So your login page and registration page will match the exact styling, and you can utilize the power of WP Forms to capture any information you like. But there's one more thing that I need to clarify how you would do. Right now, what you are limited to is using the block editor inside WordPress to customize and style the page. What if you wanted some additional level of control, where you want to like get deep dive and just design a beautiful looking page right from scratch using a page builder? How would you create a registration page on your website using those features or those functionalities? Well, there's an option to do that as well. So let me demonstrate how you do that inside WordPress. All right, back inside WordPress, and let's talk about how to design customized looking login pages and registration pages on your website. And of course, we'll be using a page builder because that's the easiest way to customize the design of any page on your website. And the page builder I'm going to be using to demonstrate this option is called SeedProd. SeedProd is one of the best drag and drop WordPress website builders that has a ton of functionality, and it has all the features that you would expect in any page builder. So before you start following this tutorial, make sure to check it out. And if you like it, purchase it, make the purchase, get the plugin, install it on your site, the zip file, as I demonstrated with WP Forms. Once that is done, you'll see SeedProd right here. Make sure to activate the plugin as well. And then once you're here, then we can start utilizing the power of SeedProd to not only just create login pages, but of course, you'll have all the functionality of a up-to-date, up-to-speed page builder as well. So let's start by going into SeedProd right here, and I'll demonstrate what all functionalities you have. Of course, you can start creating landing pages, and of course, depending on the plan you have chosen, you'll have different functionality. But what you see right here is the login page customization. And one of the best features inside SeedProd is you can override your custom or override your existing login page. And what this means is that not only will this login page be created, but the existing login page, the vanilla one right here, which looks very similar to this, once users try to actually access this page, they'll be automatically redirected to the fancy version of, or the beautiful version that you create on your site. So that's how it's going to look like. So now if you're following along this tutorial, you will see set up a login page instead of the edit page right here, because of course I was testing this out. So what the flow will you see once you see this button, set up a login page, you click right here and you'll start seeing some templates. So let me quickly jump to that step, and we'll start, or I'll demonstrate how you can utilize pre-built templates or even customize the page from scratch. So click the set up a maintenance mode, set up a login page button right here, and this is what you will see on the screen. So as soon as you click the button, you will see this page come up, which allows you to choose a new template for your login page. As you can see, you have a bunch of options. You can start from a blank template, a very simple login page, and you can see all these beautiful designs right here. And if you want to see a zoomed in version, just click the magnification icon right here, and this will open up a full page preview of how the login page will look like. A cool looking design right here. You also have the option of choosing desktop view and mobile preview right here, so you can understand how it will look like on a mobile phone preview as well. So if you want to check out other plugins or other templates, just click the cross icon, go to this minimal login page, and you can again switch between a full screen view, desktop view, and a mobile view. So let's say we go right here and we like this one, the grocery login page, or let's say let's choose this one. I think this is a more colorful option. Let's click this option, and you have this sign in option right here. Let's also see the desktop view because I'm working on desktop right now, and this is how the login page will look like. Let's say this is the one that we like. So all you have to do is click choose this template. And once you have this, you will create a new page. Of course, we're creating a new page, so we'll name this page. So I'll keep the name login new. Let's say that's the page name I'm going with, and no hyphen needed here. The hyphen will be added to the URL automatically. Save and start editing the page. So this will open up the page builder interface on the site. And this is where all the magic happens, because in this interface, you can actually do anything to your page. So you have a pre-built design, you can change it. You have a background color, you can change it. You can have certain styling on the forms, you can change it. You have some links right here, you can change it. Everything is completely under your control. We have our SeedProd has given you a predefined page so that you can not start with a blank slate, but you have complete control over whatever you want. And you have a bunch of options right here, adding headlines, text, lists, buttons, images, videos, dividers, spacers, columns. And in advanced options, you have contact forms. This is already a contact form technically. Countdown, social profiles, animated headlines. Let's see how that works. If I add it right here, I can add this kind of a option or cool looking headline right here. So I have complete control over how I want to design my login page right here. And once, let's say you are happy, let's say you don't make any changes, let's say you delete this element as well. Once you've done that, to start using this page, you'll need to go to the page settings right here, and you have a bunch of options right here, right? So you have the page title and everything, which you see right here. And you also have the page status right now. So page status is draft, but you can publish it by going into the save option and then publishing it. That's completely up to you where you want to do this. You also have the opportunity to make a little bit of money if you are into affiliate marketing. And then you can enable this link option right here. And this will add a made with SeedProd link to your page. And whenever users click on it and make a purchase, you'll get a certain commission, which you can see right here. You also have isolation mode, which will disable any kind of header or footer scripts from being launching. But the most important option is right here. Redirect the default login page. This is the option I was talking about in the beginning. What you can do is enable this option, and anytime users try to log in like the vanilla version right here, similar to this, they'll be taken to the designer version of your page. And this is a completely cool looking feature. So let's say if you enable this option right here, and then you can save your changes, and the login page will be overridden with the new login page that you have created. Let's save this, and before I actually save and demonstrate, let me also give you an example. If you want to change the template in the future, come right here and choose a new template, then it will override the old template completely, and you can start from scratch as well. So let's save this page right here, save it. Now, before I demonstrate the login option or login page, a new designed version of the login page, let me also tell you how you can customize the registration page on your site as well. So all you have to do is go to the page actually where you created that page, right here. And using this page right here, you can see all these options. This is the registration page. Just click this button right here. This will open up the SeedProd editor once again, and you can customize the page complete customization options. And then once you save that page, the registration page will also be styled completely on your website. So it doesn't work just with the login page. It also works with the registration page as well. So now let's check out the new login page on our website. So it's time to check out a new customized login page. And I just wanted to remind you first that if you're not seeing login page changing on your site by following me, just make sure that login page here is active inside the landing page section. Because if it's not active, then SeedProd will not override or even display the new login page to you, and you might be stuck with the old design right here. So going to the incognito window once again, this is the, I'll also place the URL of this page right here on the screen. I haven't refreshed this. That's why you can still see the old view. And since this is the old vanilla view that we're working with, and what I'm going to do is just duplicate this page right here, which will also refresh the page. And let's see what happens. I'll just duplicate this right here. And beautifully right here, you can see the login page automatically is redirected to this new beautiful looking login page on the website. Perfectly designed, looking fantastic. And your users might not even know you're using WordPress because your website looks so cool, right? And with this done, we can finally conclude this video. It was a very fun video for me to do. I showed you how to enable registrations on your site, how to add registration links using WordPress native features, and also some interesting stuff you can do with WP Forms, and also design a completely customized version of your login pages using SeedProd. The world is your oyster now. Go do whatever you want with your registration links and login pages. And of course, if you have any comments or any appreciation for this video, it's a really, really long video, make sure that leave in the comments. If you have questions about any of these features I talked about, also leave that in the comments on the video. And before you go, I would recommend checking out some of these videos right here, which are about SeedProd and also WP Forms, so that you can increase your knowledge on what is possible with WordPress. And of course, if you're interested in more easy to follow WordPress tutorials just like this one, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video.